Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's reading we are doing need to know messages from your spirit guides. So today's video is need to know messages from your guide. If you felt compelled to click on this video, that's your first message from your guides to say that there's a message here. So today's messages are going to be short messages because sometimes longer readings will mean that you get overwhelmed with information and you aren't actually able to get the most important part of the reading. So this reading today isn't going to be one of those readings where you just like throw something at the wall and see what sticks. This reading is going to be quite personalized, specific, and constructive. Because being overwhelmed with information isn't always the most constructive way to approach a reading. Anyway, let's get into your cards. Hi there everybody, and these are the piles for today. Today you will be picking your piles according to either the cards here or with the Astro dice which we have up here. If you have already picked your piles, go ahead and click in the timestamps below so that you can get your reading. If you haven't picked your pile, then I'm going to give you an opportunity to have a closer look at the cards, have a bit of a read of each pile's energy, as well as have a closer look at the dice. So for pile number 1, we have Transition with cauliflower. Then you also have the zodiac sign of Virgo. For pile number 2, you have Navigate by the Sun, Honeybee. And the zodiac sign of Aries. For pile number 3, we have Venus with Beloved. And once again, we have Aries. And for pile number 4, we have First Quarter Moon in Scorpio, Release Your Blocks. And the zodiac sign of Aquarius. Now that is a little hard to see, so I'm just going to twist that. There we go. That one there. Once you have picked your piles, then go ahead, click down below in the timestamps for your reading. I'll see you in your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. You have chosen Virgo on the Astro dice as well as Transition, cauliflower. Before we look at any more cards, let's just go through what we have in front of us. So first of all, Virgo is a sign that is very practical. It likes to sort through information and ideas and find the best solution or the best way of doing things. It can also speak to health. So it could be going through different phases and figuring out what is the best, diet, or what is the best routine and what is the best thing that works for you. It can speak to experimenting and trying new things. So perhaps you are moving into a space where you are finding something's not really working for you at the moment, and that very much also coincides with this Transition cauliflower card. This card in particular actually indicates that you are feeling quite unsettled at the moment, and it's time to perhaps let go or sort through and let go of what is not serving you, what is not helping you. You're getting guided to redirect your energy. So perhaps you're finding yourself a little bit stuck going through the same situations over and over again. Or perhaps you're just, even with this Virgo energy, recognizing that there's a pattern of behavior that you're seeing in yourself, or even somebody else that is not really, that you're not seeing any indication that there's going to be any change or growth or development of this situation, and therefore just a move in a different direction might even be something that's quite positive and constructive. So let's get out the other cards and see what other messages we have for today. So today we have 2 tarot cards and a mini oracle card. So today we have 2 tarot cards and a mini oracle card. So first we have the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is a card of achievement and gain. So getting your, it could be speaking to dreams that are coming true. So perhaps you're in a place right now where you're so close to that thing that you want, but there's just a transition, there's just a change, and it could even be of perspective that you are needing in order to actually really step into this feeling of fulfillment. And to actually recognize that actually you do have a lot of the things you're working towards. Perhaps that you are just constantly goal setting. This is not a positive place to be constantly trying to fix and change the goalposts. I mean, it's one thing to be constantly ambitious and to be working towards something, and that can be fine, but if it is not really benefiting you, then, or if it's creating a negative dialogue, then it's not really worth it to be constantly pushing yourself and telling yourself that you're not good enough. Let's check out this other card. So we're getting more of this consistent message of closure, of letting something go. And perhaps it's letting go of a dream or an ideal or some sort of idea that you had of how your life was going to turn out. Life never really turns out the way we ever expect, and life will always throw a curveball at us when we're least expecting it. And the 10 of Swords is really just encouraging you to just like accept the situation for what it is, even if it's unpleasant, even if it wasn't what you expected, even if it means letting go of like these dreams and ideals that you had for yourself and your life. You're being encouraged to let go of all that. Accept it for as it is and be prepared to move forward and move on. All right, we're up to the last card. Let's take a look. 3 of Cups, a toast to friendship. In the afternoon sun, 3 of Cups in happiness, 3 cheers are done. Oh, that's a cute little poem. So, 3 of Cups in the tarot means community. So if I was going to read this as a 3 of Cups card, I would be saying that you need to reach out to your community. You need to reach out for support. You need to reach out perhaps to people who you haven't really spent a lot of time with recently, or there's been a situation that's held you back from connecting with some people who are really, really dear to you. This card is encouraging you to connect with those people again, connect with your community and find support somewhere else. The other thing that community creates for people is perspective, and creating a change of perspective. And if there's anything I can really say about this reading is that I think there's a change of perspective that really needs to happen here. And I think a part of that change is going to be about talking to people you haven't seen for a while, connecting with a community, listening to people's other ideas and experiences so that they can educate your own experiences and educate your own decisions in the future. Anyway, pile number one, that is your reading for today. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi there, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the zodiac sign of Aries, as well as Navigate by the Sun, Honeybee. Now, the first thing I want to say about the zodiac sign Aries is that it is a sign that is very decisive and likes to take the lead. So this could be a situation where no one really is taking the lead and no one really is making any decisions, and you're kind of at the moment sitting there like in this limbo and not really sure how to move forward. I also see signs of this because you have this community of bees here with Honeybee. They live in a community. They work together, but also they kind of don't really go off on their own. So I'm kind of seeing quite a conflict here with Aries and the card Honeybee. What we can also see with the Honeybee here is that they're quite intuitive and they're quite connected with nature, obviously, and in search of joy. And so that's kind of what I think the reason. And I think that's the reason why you're here in this reading. You are looking for that happiness. You are looking for that joy. But you're kind of in this group of people, or you're in a situation and you're kind of not sure what direction you should go. So let's have a look at what other cards we have here today. So first we have the Nine of Wands. So I'm kind of seeing some defensiveness here in the Nine of Wands. You can see that she is standing by her fence and she's guarded, but also she's not particularly making any pushes forward. She wants to, absolutely. She wants to move forward and she doesn't want to have this defensive stance. This card is really encouraging you to push past these self-doubts, because at the end of the day, I feel like the wall that is built here is your own wall, and you've kind of held yourself back by using everybody else around you as like an excuse to hold yourself back. I do believe that you absolutely know what it is you want. If you are the one making a decision in this situation, I think you know what decision you need to make. I think you know which direction you want to go. But again, you're just kind of a little bit hesitant as to making that move and making that push forward. Next, we have the Queen of Swords. I'm kind of seeing that same thing with the Queen of Swords, but the Queen of Swords is the suit of swords is very focused on thought and logical thinking. And it could be potentially in this point, even though you are quite clear in the head in what you want to do, there is just something holding you back. Perhaps there's a little fear and anxiety. Could be overthinking. This card is very strategic and very thoughtful, and that is absolutely something that can be very beneficial. That's something that can actually really benefit you in some situations, but particularly with the leading with this energy with the Aries, I think we kind of want to combine a bit more of that action along with this thought and this strategy. And Queen of Swords is all about communicating as well. So not just thinking about things in your head, but also bringing them out into the world through communication. So perhaps there are things that you need to communicate to somebody. Perhaps you're holding back on communicating to somebody about something. But yeah, this Aries energy, I'm just really seeing this focus on action. This is the one thing that you're missing, this action. This last card is strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong and a positive outcome is assured. Just looking at that word assured, I'm thinking that self-assurance is maybe something that is kind of lacking in this situation. Perhaps you are seeking too much validation outside of yourself, and that's why there's this hesitancy, there's this inaction towards moving towards or making the decisions you want to make. At the end of the day, this reading is really just telling you you need to create action towards your joy, your happiness, and your fulfillment. Anyway, pile number 2, that is your reading for today. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening. Hi there, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the zodiac sign of Aries, as well as the card Venus Beloved. Now, the combination of these two cards actually tells me there's a lot of passion going on in your life right now, or this particular situation that you're seeking guidance in has to do with something that's quite passionate. There's quite a lot of emotion and feeling, as well as there could be a sense of volatility depending on what your specific situation is. Perhaps there is somebody who's maybe a little bit emotionally unstable or reacts quite intensely. We can see that particularly with Aries because it is a sign that on the shadow side can be quite volatile, and the fact that we have some emotions here with Venus, not really thinking through or finding constructive ways of managing your emotions or communicating your emotions. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean this is you. Depending on your situation, this might be you, but this could also be somebody who you are currently having a relationship with or currently having a bit of an argument with. But this particular reading is very much focused on relationships. So let's take a look at what cards you have for today. So the first card we have here is 8 of Wands. Again, I'm seeing this action and decisiveness around relationships, and I'm not sure I'm getting a full picture of what this truly means. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip over the other card because I feel like this is going to clarify the messages a little bit more. So what I'm seeing is that I don't think the people around you or the people in this situation really know who you are. I feel like there's a lot of assumptions being made about people's intentions, about how people feel about each other. There kind of needs to be a shift. This situation could also be about a wall. If it's you in particular, it could be about putting up a wall, and that the people around you can't really understand you. So what I'm really seeing here is that whatever the situation is, whether it's you or somebody else, that there is a lack of understanding about each other. Now this could come about, and this can come about by lack of communication. Perhaps all that's needed in this particular situation is to communicate. And communicate intentionally as well, because there's a big focus on making decisions. There's a big focus on feelings, and there's a big focus on making decisions. So what I'm kind of seeing is like this transition from just reacting emotionally and acting emotionally, to being able to understand your feelings, stop yourself, and actually be really thoughtful about the intentions and what you want from a situation or from a relationship. For me, I have different people in my life, and each person kind of is a piece in a puzzle. Instead of having all sorts of things flying in different directions and not know where they go, perhaps you just need to take a moment to think about what it is this person provides, or what it is you are after in a relationship, and what people can, and how that need can be met, can be recognized and met by either the people around you or by anyone new you may meet. Let's move on to the last card. Full moon, protect your energy and hold your stars close. Now, when I picture the moon, I am picturing the side that faces the earth. That's the only part of the moon that I see. That's the only part of the moon that you will see. We are in a perspective where we can see the front side of the moon. We can only see one side of the moon. And how much of that side we can see really depends on the placement of the sun. And it may sound like I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but the moon is more than that, just one side, because there's a whole other side of the moon that exists, but we don't necessarily see it. And that's what I think needs to be recognized in this situation, that not everyone needs to see both sides of the moon, that not everyone needs to see all sides of you. There are certain sides of you, or there's certain sides of the person. If this is talking about a different person, you need to recognize that there are sides of that person you're never going to know and you're never going to understand, and that's just something you have to accept. And that's the same about you. Like, there are things about yourself that, you know, you may want to share with people, but they're never going to have the ability to truly understand those sides of you. And so instead of revealing those parts of yourself to people who aren't prepared to see or recognize it, protect those parts of yourself. Just show the parts of yourself to them that you know that they can love and accept. Anything else, they don't need to know. You can save that part of yourself for someone special or for someone who's going to get it. Anyway, pile number 3, that is your reading for today. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi there, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the zodiac sign of Aquarius, as well as the card First Quarter Moon in Scorpio, Release Your Blocks. Because Aquarius is a very social sign, I'm getting the feeling that this might be to do with friends or some sort of acquaintances, even maybe a job or profession that you are currently doing that you're kind of not vibing with anymore. You have grown, you have changed, and you're kind of feeling like you want to move towards something else. With the first quarter moon in Scorpio, we can see that there are some blocks that need releasing. And so perhaps to move on to the next thing, you need to have a look at what's happening in your life, or have a look at what's truly serving you and what's truly working for you and what's not. Let's have a look at the rest of these cards, shall we? All right, first we have the Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is definitely on this same track as far as moving towards something or learning something new. I'm seeing a lot of self-reflection going on. Maybe your feelings are changing, maybe you are getting intuitive messages, maybe you are getting guided and pushed in a different direction. And I'm seeing that this possibly means that you're going to maybe take us a couple steps back, where as far as like friendships maybe, or as far as work, but then you will be in a position where you will be moving up and learning new things about yourself, but also new things in these new situations that you find yourself in. You may even find a mentor, somebody who's going to guide you in the direction that you want, or at least kind of be able to push and encourage you in the direction that you feel most drawn to. With the Hierophant as well, the universe is very much involved in this kind of evolution that you're currently experiencing. So you may actually see some signs, you may actually see some opportunities that may not arise any other way. Keep a lookout for those kinds of things. Keep a lookout for these kinds of things. Signs that are extremely personal to you, that point you in the direction that you feel that you need to go in. Let's have a look at the next card. Eight of Voices. We have blocks in this first card, as well as here in the Voices. These blocks could be maybe limited perspectives, for example, or the ways you're blocking yourself may not be overly obvious to you, but they could be something small like limiting your perspective or not opening yourself to other ideas. Even just repeating to yourself the messages that we get in society. Oh, you're supposed to stay in a job for this long, or you're supposed to be friends forever, or you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. Just those are limiting beliefs. Those are beliefs that keep you trapped in situations that aren't serving you, that are unpleasant, and that are draining you. So I feel like this reading right here is really telling you it's time to have a look within yourself, look at what kind of dialogues and support and stuff you have in your social networks, and ask yourself if those things are really serving you. Are they lifting you up? Are they pulling you down? And giving yourself permission to step away, to move away from those things that are holding you back. Move away, let go of all of those thoughts and feelings that stop you from taking that gamble, making that decision to move or change in any way. Moving on to the next card, we have Abundance. Great news is heading your way. Abundance is coming to you in many forms. And move past your doubts. Even though this whole process of change and releasing these blocks, this card is really just assuring you the opportunities that you're looking for, the opportunities that you're hoping for. It could even be just as simple as validation, that at the end of that, you are going to experience the success and the happiness that you're hoping for, but you weren't really sure you were going to achieve. We'll stop ourselves from making these gambles because we're like, well, I mean, I'm not entirely happy, but it's not that bad. And when things aren't that bad, it's kind of really hard to leave or move on or change because there's no motivating factor that really pushes you to change. And I think in this situation, the motivating factor is you. You need to motivate this change. You need to decide on your own terms how you're going to move forward and why. Anyway, pile number 4, that is your reading for today. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye.